You've been told your whole life that drinking water right after eating is dangerous, that it dilutes your stomach acid, destroys your digestion, and practically poisons your body from the inside out. But what if everything you believed about this was based on nothing more than a myth that somehow survived centuries without anyone questioning it? Let's break this down. For generations, parents, wellness gurus, and even some health professionals have warned against drinking water immediately after a meal. The logic sounds convincing. You eat food, your stomach fills with powerful acids and enzymes to break it down. Then you drink water, and supposedly that water floods your stomach, dilutes those acids, weakens your digestion, and leaves food sitting there undigested, rotting inside you. The theory suggests this leads to bloating, nutrient deficiencies, weight gain, and even toxin buildup. In some cultures, this warning has become almost sacred. Ayurvedic traditions describe drinking water after meals as extinguishing your digestive fire, your Agni, and they recommend waiting at least 30 to 45 minutes before taking even a sip. With so many people believing this, surely there must be mountains of scientific evidence backing it up. Here is where it gets interesting. When researchers actually tested this claim in laboratory settings, they found something that shocked even them. Yes, drinking water does temporarily increase the pH of your stomach, meaning it becomes slightly less acidic. One clinical study confirmed that water can raise gastric pH above 4 within just 1 minute of consumption. But here is the twist almost everyone gets wrong. That effect lasted only about 3 minutes. Your stomach isn't some passive container that simply accepts whatever you pour into it. It's an incredibly sophisticated organ with feedback systems that constantly monitor acidity levels and adjust accordingly. The moment your stomach senses that acidity has dropped, specialized cells lining your stomach walls kick into action, pumping out more hydrochloric acid to restore optimal digestive conditions. This is called buffer capacity, and it means your stomach essentially takes care of itself. You could drink a full liter of water, and while your stomach contents would become slightly less acidic momentarily, your body would correct that imbalance almost immediately. The idea that a glass of water can permanently cripple your digestion simply does not hold up under scientific scrutiny. But this is the part most people never hear. Not only does drinking water with meals fail to harm digestion, it actually helps the entire process work more smoothly. Your stomach doesn't just secrete acid during digestion, it also releases water as part of the digestive fluid mixture. That water is essential for enzymes to function properly. Without adequate hydration, those enzymes can't do their job efficiently. Water helps break down large chunks of food, making it easier for nutrients to be extracted. It keeps food moving through your digestive tract, preventing constipation and bloating. The very substance people fear is one their bodies produce intentionally during every single meal. Now this is where researchers were stunned. Multiple studies have shown that drinking water before or during meals doesn't just leave digestion unaffected. It can actually enhance your health outcomes. Scientists at the University of Birmingham discovered that people who drank about 500 milliliters of water 30 minutes before meals lost significantly more weight than those who did on tea. Over 12 weeks, the water drinking group shed nearly 4 additional pounds compared to the control group. Another study on young adults found that pre-meal water consumption reduced total calorie intake at that meal without leaving participants feeling hungrier afterward. The mechanism appears simple. Water takes up space in your stomach, triggering stretch receptors that signal fullness to your brain. You eat less naturally without dieting or restriction. This research has been replicated across different populations and age groups, consistently showing that water consumption around mealtimes supports rather than sabotages healthy digestion and weight management. Here is the perspective shift that changes everything. The myth about water and digestion didn't emerge from scientific observation. It came from intuitive reasoning that seemed to make sense but was never actually tested. People imagined their stomach as a mixing bowl where adding water would obviously thin out whatever else was in there. But the human body doesn't work like a simple container. It's a dynamic system constantly adjusting, compensating, and self-regulating. Your digestive system adapts its secretions based on the type and quantity of food you consume. It doesn't simply accept conditions passively. When you eat a large meal, your stomach produces more acid. When you drink water, your stomach produces more acid to compensate. When you eat something that requires more enzymatic breakdown, your pancreas releases additional enzymes. This adaptability is precisely why humans can thrive on incredibly diverse diets across different cultures and environments. Even the ancient traditions warning against water with meals aren't as absolute as modern interpretations suggest. Traditional Ayurvedic texts actually recommend small sips of warm water during meals to aid digestion. The prohibition was against cold water and excessive quantities, not water itself. Somewhere along the line, nuanced guidance transformed into rigid rules that lost their original context. And those rules spread, reinforced by repetition rather than evidence, until millions of people now feel genuine anxiety about taking a simple drink with their food. So, what does the actual evidence support? Mayo Clinic states clearly that water does uncause problems with digestion or thin body fluids used in digestion. Healthline's comprehensive review found no scientific research supporting the claim that fluids harm the digestive process. The consensus among gastroenterologists and registered dietitians is straightforward. Drinking water with meals is not only safe, but beneficial for most people. It aids in swallowing, supports nutrient absorption, promotes bowel regularity, and helps you recognize fullness cues so you don't overeat. The only people who should genuinely monitor water intake with meals are those with specific medical conditions, like heart disease, kidney problems, or liver issues, where fluid management requires professional guidance. For everyone else, the fear surrounding water and digestion belongs in the same category as countless other health myths that sound logical but crumble under scientific investigation. The strangest part of this entire phenomenon is how persistent the myth remains despite being so easily disproven. Perhaps it's because the story fits neatly into our intuitions about how bodies should work. Perhaps it's because challenging something your grandmother told you feels disrespectful. Or perhaps it's simply that myths about health take on a life of their own, pass from person to person, amplified by social media algorithms and wellness influencers who profit from making you question basic bodily functions. The truth is both simpler and more empowering than the myth. Your body knows how to digest food. It has been doing so successfully for hundreds of thousands of years of human evolution. Drinking water when you're thirsty, whether that's before, during, or after a meal, supports that process rather than undermining it. You don't need to time your hydration with military precision. You don't need to wait exactly 30 minutes after eating before taking a sip. Your stomach isn't fragile. Your digestion isn't easily fooled. And the next time someone warns you that water with meals is practically poison, you'll know they're repeating a centuries-old myth that science thoroughly dismantled. What myth should I break down next?